Nina Dobrev revealed that the reason she left The Vampire Diaries was because of pay disparity. In I Was Feeling Epic, an oral history of The Vampire Diaries, she says that she was never paid the same amount as her male co-stars Paul Wesley and Ian Somerhalder. And I covered that in a video yesterday which received this comment. And while it's an interesting take, let's say that gender has no affiliation with how much you're paid, what's more interesting is the fact that this person chose Scarlett Johansson as a reference to basically say that Nina Dobrev's pay was a skill issue. And I actually think that Scarlett Johansson herself is a perfect representation of why pay is a problem in Hollywood for women. Scarlett Johansson this year became the highest grossing actor of all time, meaning that man or woman, her movies have brought more money to the box office than anyone else in the history of acting. And yet, last year when Forbes released the top 20 grossing actors of 2024, she was only one of 3 women on that list. And of those 3 women, none of them made it into the top 5. Nicole Kidman came in 7th, Mariska Hargitay came in 11th, and Scarlett Johansson herself actually came in 19th. The year prior, in 2023, only 2 women made the top 10 list, and those were Margot Robbie and Jennifer Aniston. Now, there are a lot of factors that go into why certain people are paid more than others when it comes to a TV show or a movie. One of the arguments that there may have been for Nina Dobrev to have a lower salary than Paul and Ian was the fact that when the show first started, Paul and Ian had been acting longer than she had and had more credits. There can be an argument made by your team for sort of experience. However, Scarlett Johansson, for example, has been acting since she was a teenager. But by the time that she made her debut in the MCU for Iron Man 2, she was only paid $400,000 for that movie. For the first Avengers film, she made in the low 7 figures, and depending on which report you look at, she made less than her male co-stars like Jeremy Renner. But even if she was paid the same, she certainly had more credits and more box office recognition than some of her male co-stars. But when she became the top grossing actress of all time, she told Marie Claire that she still has to fight for every single paycheck. She even said that some people felt she should be talking about the issue more. However, she went on to say, "Maybe I'm being presumptuous, but I assumed it was obvious that women in all positions struggle for equality. It's always an uphill battle and fight." So yes, Scarlett Johansson is doing well for herself. However, despite her ability to negotiate, despite the fact that she is the top grossing actress of all time, and despite how long she has been in this industry, she is still fighting tooth and nail for equity when it comes to pay. And I think the idea that Nina Dobrev was paid less because she's bad at negotiating is a fascinating take, and it's definitely just not the truth. The idea that across an entire year of film, not a single woman would make it into the top 5 highest paid actors of the year is not a negotiation skill issue. In fact, the female quotient, when they reported on this, referenced research that shows that women are still making $1.1 million less per movie than their male co-stars, which is almost the exact same gap that existed in 1980. And for 45 years to go by and that gap not to change is definitely an industry issue, not a negotiation one. Regardless, as this news comes out, especially about Nina, I think it's important to remember that pay equity in Hollywood is something we are still fighting for, and that, as Scarlett Johansson said, it stretches far beyond just the film industry. And I'm hopeful when the Forbes list comes out for 2025, we see a different picture than we did the year before.